Hey everybody. I guess that's my tagline. Hey friends. This is going to be a little bit of a sensitive one. Just please note that I dedicated over a decade of my employment life, so to say, to um to working as a support professional for people with intellectual and physical disabilities. And I'm also a capitalist, so let's remember that too. So we're gonna start with two different articles, two different things that I see on the internet, and to me they kind of correlate. I'm speaking for New York because that's where I live and pay taxes and yada yada yada. Speaking of taxes, I just finished mine and I owe. They take all my money and I still owes the money, but I don't give anybody a loan interest free. So I'd rather owe you than you take my money and not pay me interest on it. That's how I see it. You just gotta make sure your savings ends up, because when you have a return or a refund, you just gave the government a loan interest free. But some people are not good at budgeting, so they have to have the money taken out because they don't want to owe, because they don't have any savings or yada yada yada. Anywho, so the whole big thing now in New York, especially, it's probably all over, but like I said, I'm going to talk for New York, especially since coming off the heels of COVID, is there is an approximately 20% shortage of direct support workers. Like 20% of these seats are unfilled and they're having trouble staffing shortage for these jobs. Now here in New York, the average salary for a direct support person with a bachelor's is like $16 an hour. Facts. Or maybe 18. Might be 18. Like with a bachelor's degree, I think it's like 18,000, and then coming off the heels, high school is 16, and $16 an hour when minimum wage is $15 an hour. And being a direct support professional, one, is more dangerous than I'm going to compare McDonald's, because when you hear minimum wage job, you think of McDonald's. So being a direct support professional, with that $16 an hour, you have to pay for your health insurance. It is physically more taxing on your body. It's more dangerous. You're dealing with people with low intellectual disabilities who are severely mentally retarded. Yes, I still use that word because until they remove it from the DSM, I will keep saying that is a medical term, and whose form of primary expression is through physical, so flailing, physical violence, throwing chairs, yada yada yada, and you're getting paid $16 an hour. So a lot of these people are pretty much, if you're doing this job and you work full time and you live, especially in New York City, you are below the poverty line, our poverty line. You probably have a roommate or multi-income household. You probably get government assistance and food stamps, which is another thing I have a problem with, especially with big corporations. When you pay your workers not enough, when you don't pay them a livable wage for the municipality they live in, then it falls back on us taxpayers, because then they qualify for services and you are banking in the money. So that's just a short cliff notes on what's happening. So anyway, there's an article. I love me some articles. Providers who care for people with disabilities deserve a raise from New York State. Write your letters. So this is pretty much a call to action. Write the governor, write your politicians that there needs to be a raise in the funding that these non-for-profits get, which then they will then put to their direct support professionals. But like, here is the caveat. I know for a fact, 100% fact, that non-for-profits are top heavy, extremely top heavy. A very big non-for-profit in New York City, the executive salary, the average executive salary, and they have more than one, is $227 $227,000. That's not the top guy. When I looked up the top guy, who think of him as all of New York, and then these umbrellas of smaller non-for-profits, but they're all under the same umbrella. He makes about $700,000 to $800,000 a year. So my thing is, and what made me look it up is, oh yeah, it says mostly compensated, makes over $700,000 a year. Top guy. He re-forwarded this article that I'm reading and petitioning people to write their letters and stuff. You see where I'm going, people? It's nothing for him to not take a year's salary, take $1 like Bloomberg. If any of you guys are familiar with former Mayor Bloomberg, you have to take a salary as a mayor. He took $1. But in the interim made like $10 billion while he was mayor with his own private companies. But that's another story, not here nor there. So let's say that this big CEO, big wig, big boss baby has to take a salary, take $1 for 1 year. That's $700,000 that can trickle down to your lowest of your low direct support professional, high school night worker making $16 an hour, working in a residential home. That ain't nothing for you to give $700,000, right? That's nothing for you to give 1,400 people some money, 1,000 people some money, 10,000 people some money. Okay, this big non-for-profit. Oh, I don't have my calculator. This big non-for-profit has, I want to say, in all of the umbrellas, I'm being generous. I'm being very, it's probably more. Let's say 10,000 employees, right? 10,000, direct support, right? This, the $16 an hour, them people, right? So, did this backwards. So, 700,000 divided. Oh my God. Guys, I'm tired. I probably could do this math in my head, but I don't have the mental bandwidth to do any sort of calculations. Okay. So he could give everybody a $70 bonus. Tax free. So here's $70. But that's my point I'm trying to make is non-for-profits are extremely top heavy. They're only allowed to carry over a certain amount of money a year, and how they get rid of that money is by fluttering out bonuses and stuff like that, and yada yada yada. So I find it funny that this $700,000, and it's probably more than that, a year CEO big boss baby is telling us to write our governor to give a mere 3.5% increase in salary. 3.5. So a lot of people say in New York City, the whole migrant crisis is really fucking with the budget. And it is, right? It's fucking with the budget. They're taking away services from the parks. The parks used to get cleaned every day. Now I think with the new mayor's proposed budget, the parks are going to be cleaned once a week. Stuff like that. I haven't done extensive research, but money is coming from here so that we can fund the care of these new migrants, right? So here is the call of action letter that they want us to, like, pretty much stand behind that's going to go to New York Governor Kathy Hochul. So it's a story about a woman whose son lives in some place. I'm going to put the business out there. But anyway, he lives in a facility and he enters a day habilitation program. So he lives in a residential home. His family doesn't take care of him. He lives in a residential home, and then during the day he goes to a program where he might get job training or just pretty much hang out, learn skills, develop, yada yada yada. So anyway, during the shortage, he had the staff that was working with him in his residential, and then pretty much now the person that he was so accustomed to no longer can sustain life living this job and pretty much left for another job. And that they've been using fill-ins who don't have the time or extensive training that one might have when they are a regular employee, which is true. And that he has tics and triggers that these staff were very familiar with after working with him for a long time, and that these new people don't know him, and he was placed in a face down hold, which is illegal for his situation. And that somebody who was familiar with him would have known that. So that is the letter that they want to send to Hochul. Now I get it. I don't have a person in my life who is this severely disabled that will require these services. So I am not empathetic. I'm not sympathetic at all. But I do empathize, because if this was somebody I love, I would be advocating for their care and services too. But you have to also understand, and this is a reality, even though it is not right, but this is the reality. The people with these disabilities do not financially contribute to the economy. They don't. You have a few that work, but they still collect government benefits, which is then placed on the backs of the taxpayers and yada, yada, yada. Now, I'm also a realist, and I know that, what's that line in Independence Day? You really think they spending $400 on a roll of toilet paper and $4,000 on a mop? No. I know that. And I know the people that have these disabilities, percentages are low compared to the population itself. I get that. I also understand that out of, for lack of a better term, chaos comes a form to stimulate the economy. I take it to, now, I do a lot of movie references because I'm a geek. The Fifth Element. Remember the Fifth Element, guys? So when the antagonist takes a cup and breaks it to explain to the priest that out of violence comes something positive, he breaks the glass, and then all these little machines come out. All these little robots come out. They clean up the glass, they sanitize, they vacuum up the glass. Another glass comes, it fills up with water. And his argument was, I broke this glass, which then offered jobs and stability to a bunch of people that you might not have realized. A scientist had to come up with the concept of this little machine to come clean it up. Factory workers had to put this little machine together, or even invent and build the machines that would build the machines. Then the metal had to be mined and processed or whatever. So just the act, or the potential act of him breaking the glass, has created jobs and stability for people. I understand that. The mentally disabled or the people who I'm going to stop saying mentally disabled because it's physical too. The people that require services are in turn creating jobs. And I was one of them. The migrant situation is creating jobs. It is another line on our budget, but it is creating jobs. Um, so I get that. But I also get that nonprofits are extremely top heavy. And I also see the hypocrisy in someone who makes well over $700,000 a year is asking the governor to give these non-for-profits more money for salaries, which they should. Because I think if you do certain type of jobs, you shouldn't be in a deficit. I think if you're a doctor, you shouldn't be broke. If you're a police officer, firefighter, army, military, you shouldn't be broke. If you are a teacher, you shouldn't be broke. If you care for disabled people, people who require services, you shouldn't be broke. Nurses shouldn't be broke. Yada, yada, yada. You're in the service industry as far as providing a service for the less fortunate. You shouldn't be broke. That's how I feel, right? Especially since an exorbitant amount of taxpayers' money, I believe, is wasted. For example, did you guys know that all the gasoline that you put in the car is not going all to the car? A lot of it is wasted. It's a lot of the gasoline that you put in your car does not go towards the combustion that makes the wheels go. The majority of it is wasted. And that's how I feel about how tax money is handled. So I think for my hypothesis, I think for every $100 that comes in, 90 of it is wasted. I totally believe that. I have a job with a government in a local government. I have a local government job. And pretty much I get paid to maintain documents. I have a job. My job is to maintain documents, keep a very detailed paper trail for audit purposes, which cost taxpayers money. So if we are audited, I can protect said local government agency so that the state government does not take money back from us. But all of this costs money. You see what I'm talking about? Not for nothing, we had a state auditor stay damn near a year trying to find something. That's a salary. That man, very good salary. To sit and try to find something we did wrong and found nothing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But anyway, that's what I mean. So on that, we're gonna piggyback on if you don't understand, give them the money. I worked in direct support. Give them the money. Take it from 2-ply toilet paper at the Capitol for all I care. Let them use that 1-ply that's in city schools with the brown flecks of tree bark in it, and put that money to direct support. Okay. So now we're gonna pivot in this article I saw about this guy. Can you see his face? Okay. Adam Pearson speaks out against how actors with disabilities are only offered certain type of roles and calls it lazy writing. Now, this gentleman right here is Adam Pearson. He's a British actor, and he is speaking out about the stereotypical roles that are offered to actors with disabilities. He is 39, and he wrote how these roles come across inauthentic on the screen, and says, and I quote him, "Why are non-disabled people writing about disability without consultation?" The British actor said. He says, "Because I have a disfigurement, I'm pretty much casted as the villain to kill Batman or James Bond, or the victim, the woe is me role. And either that or I'm a hero because I have a disfigurement, but a regular dude whatsoever, regular dude stuff. He's somehow braver than the average guy role." He agrees that creatives have a responsibility to address these stereotypes when writing scripts. And I quote him, "I think it's lazy writing." He admitted, "Why are non-disabled people writing about disability without consultation? Because when that happens, The end result, you might get it right once, but 9 times out of 10, it's going to be really inauthentic and inaccurate and serve not only the disabled community accordingly, but disabled cinema lovers accordingly. Okay, sir. Just to give a backstory, he has neurofibromatosis, a rare genetic condition that leaves his skin covered in thousands of thick, painful lesions. Okay, here's another picture of him. Get him out of here. Sir, I need you to take a seat. I need you to sit all the way down. Sit down. What's his name? Adam. I was about to call him Aaron. Adam, I need you to have a seat. And wait your turn, buddy. I need you to have a seat and wait your turn, buddy. Last time I checked, Black cinema was waiting. Women's cinema was waiting. And I know for damn sure little people are you're skipping the line, boo-boo. You're skipping the line. No front skips and no back skips. You need to go to the end of the line. Now, one thing she is, and I paid for this course in college, is movie and theater. Okay? Down to the silent films I have studied. You need to wait in line, boo. I'm still waiting for this representation to come on the screen. And I'm a double minority. Adam, take a seat. You gonna have to wait, boo-boo. You gonna have to wait. You gonna have to wait. Go lay down. I know them lesions are hurting. Go lay down and relax. We'll call you. We'll call you. When you ever call customer service and they go, don't worry, give us your information. You won't lose your place in line. And we'll hit you back when the rep comes. I'm gonna need you to put in your phone number and hang up, and we're gonna call you back when it's your turn. You skipping the line. You skipping the line. I'm still waiting for and speaking of Black women, Asian people are waiting. Asian people are silently waiting for their representation to come up. And you just want to skip the line because you have a disability? You want to be treated equal? Wait in line. That's one thing I did when I worked in direct support. I didn't coddle nobody who required my services. I didn't treat you like a baby if you required my services. I treated you as an adult. You want to scream? We want to be treated equal. Don't treat us like we have a disability. We're not disabled. We're able-bodied. Wait in line, Adam. We was here first. At least we, no. We were here first. We filed our paperwork first, fat. We filed our paperwork, fat. We filed first. We filed first, sir. Okay? We can't even, Black women can't even get a whole black nothing. Okay? Halle Berry's the first woman. She's biracial. Kamala Harris, first Black. There's nothing Black about her. She is Indian by way of India. And if anybody else tells me that her pappy is Jamaican, he is from the indentured servant people from India. Just because she goes scared, just because she chucks and pearls, she pledged a historically Black fraternity. She's not a Black woman. She's told us that. Me no Black. Okay? Black people are still waiting for our first non-Black. We still waiting for our first non-Black. Asian people, Native American. Let's just talk. I think what Native American actress is the first to get some award for film and cinema is 2023 or 2024. She's the first. Fat, we We filed our paperwork first, and I got that fat from Voodoo Doll. I love it. We filed paperwork first, sir. You gonna have to wait. This is the DMV. I got my ticket, and I know you know what the waiting room looks like. It looks like the waiting room in Beetlejuice. We've been there for hundreds of years, sir. And then also I found this to be quite peculiar. Did y'all catch this? Disabled cinema lovers. Disabled cinema lovers. Where they at? Where they at? Y'all gonna try to act like, and y'all can fool anybody but me, but I ain't seen nobody get no Barbie dolls with a wheelchair. They have them. I didn't see nobody buy nobody kid a Barbie with a wheelchair. Y'all put her in the Barbie movie. When I went to Target, there was a quite a few Barbies in wheelchairs, and the other Barbies were sold out. Y'all want inclusion? Y'all not even buying the disabled people are not even buying the handy capable Barbie doll or the Down syndrome doll. Y'all don't even want them. Y'all want stereotypical beautiful Barbie, because let's be clear, your disability does not register attractiveness in the human brain. Yes, you deserve representation. Nobody is taking that away from you. You deserve. Everybody deserves. That don't mean you're going to get. That don't mean you're going to get. Maybe I deserve for you to be up on the silver screen. Baby, I deserve for writers to ask you how you pee. Baby, I deserve for my disability. You should call me. Baby, I deserve. Oh, yeah. You not gonna get. I have scoliosis with scoliosis implantation surgery with rods and screws and a scar going from the top of my back to the bottom of my ass and under my arm. Am I right in Mattel? Where is the scoliosis Barbie? Where is the pre-surgical scoliosis Barbie where she is all twisted and her back is hunched? Where is that Barbie? I ain't never see the love interest have scoliosis and be like this. We are supposed to put everybody's disability. What about the women like me who got the scoliosis surgery and their body adjusted before the surgery? So now one hip is a little like this, which gives the illusion of one leg longer than the other, and we kind of got that diddy bop limp, and we played off like we. But it's just really the fucking hip. Where is why isn't a woman like that kissing Brad Pitt on the mouth? Where is the Disabled Cinema Lovers Association? Is that with NAMBLA? Are they with NAMBLA? If y'all Google what NAMBLA is, don't do it on any Wi-Fi that's affiliated with your job. Where is the disabled cinema community? Are they with NAMBLAs? I don't know them. I get a lot of suggestions on Facebook, and because for groups I should join, and because I did work in the service to provide service for people with disabilities, it should have been some cookies and biscuits that have attached to my phone so that the algorithm could know that I'm interested in this stuff, and they didn't. None suggested the Disabled Cinema Lovers Facebook group to me. Never. And writers are supposed to what he said? Writers are supposed to consult with disabled people before they write about disabled people. But we're not supposed to assume that you have a disability based on your looks. How do we find y'all? How do we find y'all? And I'm saying we because I'm a writer, baby. I write. I have a couple of I got a lot of unfinished screenplays because I have ADHD and I start shit and I don't finish it. But I got a lot of unfinished screenplays in the genre of Coldest Winter Ever. I have a lot of that. And if I wanted to incorporate a disabled person, I need to consult. Where do I find the disabled people? Where y'all at? Because I'm not supposed to look at somebody and assume they have a disability or guess. So do y'all have like a forum? Do y'all go to meetings? Are y'all registered in the I have a disability, come consult with me IMDb page? Before this article came out, sir, and I only got it because I like variety because I'm into that. I don't know who you are. I didn't know you. I didn't know who you are. Never saw anything you was in. How are they supposed to find you, sir? The only people with a disability that I know, and I don't even think they consider that a disability, and neither do I, is the little person from Game of Thrones, because I think he's kind of hot. He was also an elf. I don't know his name. So, and speaking of that, did y'all know there's a new Willy Wonka coming out and they didn't hire little people to play the Oompa Loompas? And there's a lot of little people that are mad as fuck because we have overcorrected. So everybody's scared of being canceled and not having their movie supported, that we used artificial intelligence and just made regular actors appear smaller on the screen to mimic little people instead of hiring little people. And the actors who are little people are furious, as they should. As they should. Because you got fuckers like this speaking for y'all. Okay. You're criticizing the way we write disabled people in our films. We won't write them at all. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh. Ah! Sorry, guys. Am I going? Ooh. What happened? I'm going to have to edit that out. We don't write them at all. There'll only be able-bodied people in our film. We're not going to write disabled people. We're not going to write about them or nothing. And so using that logic, I don't want another white writer speaking about anybody black. I don't want a man writing about a woman. I don't want anybody who has not grown up in the inner city or has sold drugs to write about a drug dealer's life or experience. I don't want anybody who's not a single mother writing about single mothers. You, as a writer, can only write about your experience, and the fact that most writers are white, cis, Caucasian males, I just need y'all to write about that. Okay? I need y'all to write about only male, white, cis, heterosexual experiences in America. And based on Adam said that, not me. Based on Adam here, if you ain't in that world and you didn't consult with somebody in that world, you can't write about them. And yeah. And if you reach out to somebody, like let's say, I only know this because I follow her and I listen to her story. So I know Miss Pat, very famous comedian. I know she was a teen mother. I know she got shot in her breast. I know all of these things because she's very open about it. But if you go to Miss Pat and assume that she is an unwed single mother, I'm gonna cancel you because she's not. She's married. been married a long time. But she was an unwed, married, single mother. But if you go now and assume that she is now, I'm going to cancel you. Because Adam here, okay, said y'all doing it all wrong. You know how we are quickly approaching, how could I put this? It's all going to crash. This is unsustainable. We have way too many people, way too many different experiences, way too many variables, way too many to represent everything and it be monetarily worth it. Let me tell you why, and I'm going to end it here. It has been reported that The Color Purple, which was not advertised as a musical, I don't care what none of y'all say, it was not advertised as a musical. None of the advertisement and pictures or whatever said Color Purple the musical. Okay, first of all, said that it was the budget or what they spent was $100 million. They're nowhere near that. They're nowhere near that. It is a bust. It is a bust. And you could say that you blame Taraji and what she said and whatever, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. I think that has a lot to do with it. But before she said that, I wasn't interested in watching it. I wasn't going to. I made her. Before she said what she said, I wasn't going to watch it. Because I don't think everything needs to be represented all the time. I don't watch slave movies. I don't watch trauma movies. I don't need to be reminded that a black man was terrible to another black woman, and I don't want to see that. It's the same reason why niggas don't jump out of planes. Why isn't skydiving popular with niggas? Why isn't swimming with sharks popular with niggas? Why isn't climbing Mount Everest popular with niggas? We're already overly stimulated, full of trauma, full of anxiety, full of endorphins and what's that other thing? Just surviving being black is exhilarating enough. Okay, leaving my house, driving to work, and seeing a cop car drive behind me already raises my adrenaline until he drives off. Probably checking my tags. And until he drives off, I already get my adrenaline junkiness every day just driving while black. I don't need to be more stimulated by jumping out of plane. I don't need to be reminded or have access to more trauma because I'm a black woman living in America. That's why I didn't watch the movie. And I think that's why a lot of people didn't watch the movie. We watched it already. Why get re-traumatized? Why do you think black people stop having the annual event of watching Roots every year? Why is that not played on TV every year? Because we got smarter, we grew up, and we realized we were being re-traumatized. I seen it once, that's enough. I seen one slave movie, I've seen them all. Okay, why you think that Will Smith movie didn't flop? Because he slapped, what's his face? No, because people are not interested in slave movies anymore. And the reason why they keep coming out is because they need a new generation of people to traumatize. But guess what? This old generation mind realized that we're being re-traumatized by our cinema and we're not allowing our children to be re-traumatized. Why do you need to take your children to go see The Color Purple? Why? Why do you need to take your black children or your black daughters to go see The Color Purple? Why? That's no longer happening to black women. That's not our reality anymore. Why do we have to be reminded that the black man was traumatized, therefore he traumatized the black woman? Why do we have to be reminded of that? That's our past, and we don't live there no more.